So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to the final session of the conference and coming to our final session of the conference. Make sure you're in the right room. This is session 19, round table. Our knowledge is all over the place. You also in the right room? Good. Just rules of engagement. We'll go through this very quickly. This is meant to be a conversation. So we do have to have a few slides, and then when we finish the speakers going through the stuff, then we'll ask people to move around so we can feel as if we're actually talking to one another rather than doing this classroom stuff. So by way of background, we have been running a series of workshops since CAA Paris, in fact, about challenges, grand challenges and issues facing our discipline, particularly as digital archaeologists. Coming out of those grand challenges, one of the grand challenges that we focused in on was that the proliferation of technology and the changes in social behaviour between archaeologists was stretching our community. So the picture here is simply to remind you that the way we framed this last year, Jeremy Holt, Gary Locke and I, we deliberately polarised the discussion to say we have people in jobs who get paid by the state, we have typically academicians who work on international projects and talk to each other, we have the people who are influenced by these people who tell them what the facts are and they reproduce it, but increasingly there's a whole bunch of people who are digital archaeologists who don't necessarily fit in any institution. And the knowledge in that area particularly is distributed over space. If I can get this to work. Right, this is our list of speakers. We're going to have to. We've had some changes. Stead is not here. Unfortunately, Steve is ill. He couldn't make it. I'm here. Priscilla will come up. Tuna is unable to make it because of visa problems, but we have someone to read his script. All our other speakers are here and available, and they're asked to show one slide and talk for 5 minutes or less. And then on the basis of that, then we'll hopefully create some discussion. So what they were asked to do was give a view of what they think a way of introducing digital media as a mechanism to facilitate our knowledge as a community. So we deliberately gave them no information about what that was because we want to expose what people think knowledge is. I started with this particular one. This is it's actually more of a value chain, and because I'm no good at PowerPoint, it should actually be in a loop and these arrows should feed into each other. But basically, I've said there's 7 steps of knowledge creation, and I've just conventionally put them as research, prospect, uncover, transform, archive. But the knowledge is spread across assets, capabilities, competencies, knowledge bases, i.e. databases or something like that, and communities of practice. So for my knowledge map, by the way, I was a knowledge broker from International Corporation for many years. So if I'm using jargon, just put your hand up and say, what are you on about? I've tried to emphasize that knowledge is in people, not in databases. You have data and information in those databases, and knowledge resides in embodied practice and in people and in communities. So part of the mediation I want to talk about is how we find out where that information is. Where are those communities? And because that red space we referred to earlier, that fragmentation, how do we capture that information and tell people how to get to it? Not necessarily what it is. There might be restrictions on it, but I'm trying not to be too prescriptive. So in these spaces, in my mind, with these overlaps between types of knowledge and these things, assets, capabilities, things, these are knowledge possibility spaces. So you all may have, probably will have, different views of it. So what I'm hoping, and John's hoping, is we will gradually, you'll say that's rubbish, the world looks like this. So we've asked our speakers to come up, and first of all we'll have Priscilla, who is starting with the burning platform, what happens when things go wrong, and why do we need these digitally mediated knowledge maps to access the community and the knowledge in our communities on the databases.